Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul, and we are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. And I left the music running just a little bit longer for you, Shauna. That way you could listen to that groovy music. It was pretty groovy this morning. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate seeing all my friends in the morning as we come together to say some nice things about ourselves and to just to love on ourselves and to be that person who is there for us so that we can also be there for others. And so yeah, so happy Tuesday to you. It is indeed getting to be we're starting to get into the week proper. And so if there's one thing that I've discovered, it's that when we're able to approach the week with confidence because we have filled our minds with positive things, we get better outcomes. So yeah, let's have some fun. We're going to do what we do every morning, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. I'm going to pull a card off the top of the deck. I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card. We are going to respond out loud together. I am that affirmation. As we invoke these two incredibly powerful words, these magic words, this I am presence, we are bringing this into our lives. We are speaking it into our reality. And ultimately, we are giving ourselves powerful tools in order to get through whatever it is that life has for us today. I know for a fact that many of my friends are going through stuff. And you know what? If I'm honest with myself, I am too. And it's okay because life itself is a process. There's always something going on. There's something that we have to overcome. There's something that we are working on attaining. There is something that in all of our lives that is causing us a little bit of stress, and it's okay. That's just a part of what life is. And but as we continue to really affirm these positive words, the fact is that even though there are things that are not as I prefer them to be, and perhaps in your life there are things that are not as you prefer them to be, that we can nevertheless be at peace with it. We can be at peace with what is. We can love what is. And as we love what is, we love life and we end up in a more actualized way. So let's have some fun. Let's pull a card off the top of the deck. I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card, and we are going to respond out loud together. I am that affirmation. As we do that, we are invoking a very very powerful spirits. And so let's have some fun today. Like I said at the beginning of the week, these cards were all designed by Pepper this week. So she actually decided on the images based on some botany deck that she's putting together, and she actually linked it in the Pinterest board. So check out the Pinterest board. There is indeed a botany deck right there for you to enjoy. But I'm going to showcase one of the cards that I think is particularly pretty today and particularly relevant to my life. Let's have some fun and pull a card and say that today I am adaptable. I am adaptable. I adjust easily to new situations. So I am adaptable. I adjust easily to new situations. Are you adaptable? You are adaptable. You adjust easily to new situations. So I'm going to write that in the comments today or right now. I'm going to say that I am adaptable today and that I adjust easily to new situations. If there's one thing that I can say without fear of contradiction, it is that every situation in my life that I have encountered so far, I have survived. And no matter how crazy it seemed at the time, and no matter how no matter how much I didn't have any idea how things were ever going to turn around, and even though I had no plan for how things were going to turn around, I just kept on keeping on, and in doing so, I was able to get myself into a new situation. Because if there's one thing that's constant about life, it is that it is changing. I was reading a book the other day, and the author made a very interesting point. He was talking about he was basically talking about the nature of God and what we are taught about God, and how God is this faraway thing or this faraway entity, and we're here and God's there. And one of the really interesting things that he brought up was that every world religion, every major faith, has a belief in an omnipotent God. That there is some omnipotent, all powerful presence that controls everything, that is holding everything together by its own will. And so the point that he was bringing up was that God is life, that the life itself, what we perceive, what is right in front of our faces, is a manifestation of that all powerful creative energy. And so when I think about that, and as I considered it last night in my own morning, in my own evening prayers and meditations, I was thinking about how life has always proceeded. Like the fact is that every single thing that's ever happened to me or around me has been something that my awareness has persisted through. And so I am adaptable, and I adjust easily to new situations. And the easier that I adjust when the situation changes, the more that I love what is, the easier that my life goes, the more pleasant that my life is. Because when I look back at it, all of the misery that I've had in my life has, by and large, been caused by me. It's been caused by me not agreeing with what was and fighting it and railing against it and saying, no, I refuse to accept that this is how things are. I'm not going to love that this is how things are. I want things to go back to the way they were. And because of that, I'm going to throw a tantrum and I'm going to be angry and I'm going to be miserable and I'm going to feel like I'm somehow self-empowered in my misery. Of course, life itself served up all the misery that I demanded, and in the end, I was no better off for it. But when I saw this card, this humble little dandelion, I was thinking about how nowadays, when life changes, I just roll with the changes. I roll with the changes. I say, okay, well now something has changed, and I'm still here. And because I'm still here, and because I have all of the benefit of all the wisdom that I've accumulated over all the years that I have spent making myself miserable, I can act differently. I can behave differently. I can choose a different feeling in this moment. I can adapt, I can overcome. And and then I'm just okay with it. And then I decide that I'm going to love what is, even if what is isn't what I have chosen. And in the end, what I've discovered, at least in my own life, is that what is changes. And that my being okay with it allows me to make new choices that allow me to get to a place that I do prefer. So something happens and I don't like what is happening, and yet when I look back at it with the benefit of 2020 hindsight, and boy, let me tell you, my hindsight is 2020. I wish my foresight was as good as my hindsight. And But when I really look back at it, then it strikes me that everything has happened for my good, and that if I look back at my life, what would I have changed? I wouldn't have really changed anything. I would, as the famous quote go, I would make the same mistakes only sooner. And indeed I would, because those mistakes are what built me to being who I was today. Those situations that I didn't like were what built me into the man that I am today. Those adverse things, those adverse reactions that I've had to various things that have gone on, have built me into who I am today. And I love this guy. And loving this guy is really what it takes in order to be okay, to adapt easily to new situations. And so I encourage you today to love yourself and to recognize that new situations are going to come inevitably. The day that we had tomorrow or yesterday was a unique day. And the day that we're going to have today is a unique day. It will never happen before. It will never happen again. And so the each and every day brings its own joys, it brings its own sorrows, it brings its own confusions, it brings its own victories. It brings everything that is in today will only happen today. In fact, it will only ever happen one time. Even though, it seems like the older I get, the days take forever, the years fly by so quickly. And so I am adaptable. And to the degree that I'm able to adapt and overcome and easily adjust to new situations, to that degree, I am happy and content in my present moment, which is really all I have. And that's all that we have is our present moment. I think about this humble little dandelion and how they pop up literally anywhere that there is a crack in the sidewalk. Anywhere that there is even remotely something where a seed can get jammed, that is where a dandelion will pop up. And the flowers are good for making dandelion wine and other various dandelion beverages. And the leaves are good for medicinal purposes. And yet we look at this little flower and we think of it as a weed and we try to get rid of it in our monoculture lawns. Like, those little splashes of yellow, or those little once it fully blooms, the little white puff balls that we blow into the air and make a wish. And yet we find this plant offensive. It's hilarious to me. So you know what? Today I just had a real appreciation for that humble little dandelion, And I was thinking about all the times that I've adapted in my own life, where I've made some radical change, or in in the as is the case in many times, some radical change happened, and then I had to just deal with it, and then I was able to adjust to that radical change. And my goal has been for a very long time to adjust more easily to the new situations I find myself in. And so yesterday I found myself in new situations. Today I'm going to find myself in new situations. And so are you. So let's adjust easily to those situations. Because as we do that, as we love what is, as Esther Hicks puts it, then we will be able to really make choices based on our values instead of based on fear or anger or disappointment in what is. When we can look at what is and be joyful about it, it really helps us to navigate the trials, the tribulations, but also the joys and the happinesses that life brings. So I am adaptable today. You are adaptable as well. And so let's adapt to whatever it is that is coming down the pike today. So I want to say good morning to everybody who has come over here. Good morning, Jan. Good morning, Shauna. Good morning, Pepper. I know Pepper is currently moderating my Twitch stream. Thank you, Pepper. I haven't seen a single spammer since she started doing that. Uh, let's see. Good morning, Dan, coming in from Buford. I just know, Dan, you and your family are in my prayers as you are currently dealing with a very big adjustment in your lives right now. Let's see. Good morning, Josiah, coming in from Thompson. Nice to see you here this morning. And let's see. Yeah, so wonderful to see all you guys here, all of you guys here on the wake up call. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for sharing the call, and thank you for just being my friends and being here with me through this. Sean says that my favorite part of the dandelion is the wish. Yeah, yeah. I am 41 years old, and when I see a little dandelion, I will sometimes pick it and make a wish too, because it's just a fun thing to do. And if we think about it, actually, so I made a card with the little wishies on it. It's the "You Are Free" card, and it's so cool to see the other part of the dandelion represented in this. I wonder if we will eventually find some use for the dandelion leaf in one of the cards. But we got the yellow flower, we got the white flower, and so perhaps we will have the leaves as well. What an incredibly useful plant that people just step on and try to get rid of and treat to try to get it out of their lawns, even though it's definitely tenacious. That plant will find a way to survive no matter what. All right, so I'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. We'll come over with another one of these cards that Pepper has created. And so, yeah, I'm excited to see more about what she's done. If you guys want to check, on the botany deck that she's made, it's over on the Pinterest board. Go check out the Pinterest board, like some pins, pin some pins, show the Pinterest algorithm that you're happy with what is on that board. We actually, Pepper told me today that we actually surpassed 2,600 monthly views on those cards as of today. I think that's rad. The fact that 2,600 people have received a positive and empowering message in the last month, courtesy of work that we've done together, neat, super neat. The internet has this incredible ability to amplify our voices. So I just want to say, if you guys could be a collaborative part of that, simply by sharing this stream. So I'll talk to y'all tomorrow at 9 a.m. We'll pull up another one of these cards that Pepper made, go through the affirmations, and ultimately feed ourselves and feed our souls with the food that we need in order to make it through our days. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow at 9 a.m. Until then, this is your daily reminder. I love you. I care about you. I think that you're a wonderful and amazing and beautiful and magical person who is fully capable of manifesting all of your dreams. And that let these cards be your guide as you live the most wonderful life imaginable. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow at 9 a.m. Until then, aloha from paradise.